Going to learn how to set up feature symbologies and what are they for. If we open up Explorer, we will have a category in our Open Road standards for feature symbologies. We have linear, we have point, we have profile, we have solid, and we have surface feature symbologies. Symbologies are essentially a link between MicroStation entities and Open Roads Designer features. And what I mean by that, if we take a look at this flow chart, this explains how everything links together. MicroStation entities would include a color, a style, a weight, a level priority, etc. Symbologies, those would feed into a MicroStation level. Everything across this row that you'll see connected together, terrain display, materials, etc., are all MicroStation entities. These MicroStation entities then feed information into MicroStation element templates. MicroStation element templates then feed their information into a Open Roads Designer feature symbology or directly to an Open Roads Designer feature definition. Our focus in this lab is going to be on feature symbologies. And so we know the requirements as seen here are the MicroStation entities, color, style, weights, the levels or terrain information, materials, etc., element templates. All three of these feed into the feature symbology. The feature symbology found here in the Explorer under the feature symbology categories broken up into these 5 categories: linear, point, profile, solid, and surface. And if I open up the properties panel, and I have pre-made some in here for the purpose of explanation, if we look at a baseline, we'll see in here that it can point to a default element template. And so if we open our element template manager, I've repeated these same feature symbology categories here. And under then alignment baseline, you will see it connects to a MicroStation level. And so if we open up our MicroStation level, road baseline has a color, style, and weight associated with that. And so we have the baseline level, and then our color, style, and weight are by level. And then we have a class set to primary and priority. 500 for alignments is typical. And then we can also make the arc a different color and the spiral a different color. So in other words, the symbology controls what something is going to look like. Linear would be in the 3D model or the 2D plan view. Point would be also in the 3D view or the 2D view. Profile would be in the profile view. Surface would be typically in the 3D model view. And then solids is going to be both in the 3D and the 2D. So let's keep it simple at the beginning here. Let's talk about a linear feature. We talk about a baseline. We can come into the properties of this feature symbology and tell it what our default element template is going to be. If we set a default element template, then there's no need to set any of the other categories if we don't want to. We can come in and select default element template, linear, alignment, baseline, and we can be done. Now, if you want to override the default setting as terms of maybe you want something to look different in plan view, so for our tangential element template, we'll go to linear, alignment, baseline, and then for our arc element template, we want our arcs to be a different color. We can go to pick that element template, and then maybe we want our spirals to be another color. So we can select that element template. So linear, alignment, baseline, spiral. And so this is how we would manually create those linkages between the feature symbologies and the element templates. We also want to always include a profile intersection point, and that dictates the intersection point in the dynamic profile view of a crossing feature. If you want your 3D model to have a different appearance than your 2D design, you could even select an element template here. And then lastly, in dynamic cross-section view, If you wanted to show a crossing feature, like say for example you were crossing a guardrail and you wanted to see a cross section of that guardrail, you can go ahead then enable that here as well. And so in your dynamic cross section view, when you cross that guardrail feature, you would see an actual guardrail. So that's what this is for. But essentially, all of your feature symbology properties are going to be linking over to element templates. And getting your element templates created and organized in a logical manner is very important. As you can imagine, this list is going to grow quite a bit.